The next call I want to show you is the Bullies Hookbuster 3. For those of you who have been around Bullies for a while or have bought a call in the past, you're really familiar with the Bullies Hookbuster 2. Bullies Hookbuster 3 is basically the same call, but the call is a lot more durable now, and we changed just a few things on it. On the back, as you all know, who are familiar with my calls, and if you don't know, you're going to learn right now, we have a slate on the back. On the old call, the slate was recessed down in the call. On the new one, the slate's closer to the surface. We changed that to make the call a lot tougher. When we did that, we actually got a better sound, and this is a call that was rated #1 by Field & Stream. This is the new Hookbuster 3. The one I'm holding in my hand is a cherry. We also have the Hookbuster 3 in the walnut version. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to care for this call and how to call on this call right now. First thing you want to do when you buy the Bullies Hookbuster 3, when you get it, it's going to be clear, just like this call that I'm holding in my hand. Okay, this call is not going to make any noise when you get it on that glass side. I send a piece of 100 grit sandpaper with this call, and what you want to do is you want to take that piece of sandpaper, and you want to scratch across the surface of that call. After you scratch that call up in one direction, back and forth, it's going to look something like this. Okay? When you get that call looking like that, now you can make noise on that glass call. Okay? And every time you pick your glass call up, what you want to do is make sure that that call is nice and clean. So take your sandpaper, every time you're going to practice or go hunting, scratch the surface of that call, get all the dirt, fingerprints, and all that stuff off of that call. On the back side, the way I clean up the back side of the slate, as you can see there's a couple fingerprints on there. I just take my shirt sleeve, as long as it's clean, and you can just wipe that right off with your shirt sleeve. Otherwise, you can also use Scotch-Brite to clean up your slate side. Now I'm going to do some demonstrations on how to run this call. On the glass call, most important thing, like I said, is keeping it clean and keeping it scuffed up. The next thing you want to do when you get your call, you want to basically turn your striker and your glass call into one piece. When you do that, the way I do it is I wrap my palm and my pinky right around that call. Okay? I put my striker and I'm holding that striker just like a pencil. Now I want to turn that striker straight up in the air and point the tip away from me just a little bit, so I'm calling on the edge of that striker. The first thing you want to do is try to get a yelp. When you want to get that yelp, what you want to do is draw little ovals. Okay, if you want to get a deeper yelp, you can move to the middle of that glass call. You can also yelp on the slate side, and that's going to give you a nice, deep sounding, raspy yelp too. Okay, that's yelping on a glass call. Next call I want to teach you on a glass call is how to cluck. When you cluck on a glass call, you take your striker, you keep that same angle all the time, and what you want to do is apply just a little bit of pressure to that glass with that striker and let it skip. And I like to tell people that running a glass call is just like writing cursive. Once you get your pencil, that striker, on the paper, the glass, you want to leave that striker on that glass. Never take it off. Watch me when I yelp. See how that striker stays right on that glass? That's really important for helping you keep your rhythm when you're starting to learn how to call on a glass call. Next call I want to teach you is cutting. Cutting is a great call to use in the woods to get a tom to gobble. This is how I like to locate toms in the daytime. A lot of people use a locator call. I like to cut. You can almost always draw a gobble out of a gobbler if you can start cutting, you can get them to gobble. Cutting is the same as clucking, but what you want to do is just apply a little bit more pressure and use that broken up rhythm. And that's cutting on a glass call. The fourth sound I want to teach you on a glass call is the purr. The purr is pretty easy to accomplish on the glass call when you practice it. What you want to do, keep that same exact angle that I've been teaching you the whole time. Keep that, and then you're going to squeeze that striker just a little bit tighter, and you're going to drag it across that glass or that slate, and it's going to give you a purr sound. And do the same thing on the slate side. And that's the purr. And those of you who have used a hook buster before, you guys all know already that that slate is real grabby, and it will really be easy to purr on that slate side. A little bit easier than it is to purr on that glass call. But that's the Bully's Hook Buster 3, new for 2010. A lot like the Hook Buster 2, just a little bit better than it was before. Well, that pretty much wraps things up. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and hopefully you even learned a little something along the way. Don't forget to check us out at www.bulliesgamecalls.com, and thanks a lot for checking out my video.